Fiber Town. I'm Emily. Welcome back to my kitchen if you have been here before, and if you are brand new, I'm glad you're here. So it's the 20th of November, 2019, and as usual, I have so much to share with you. It's all fibery, sewing, giveaway, Marie Wallin stuff, acquisitions, retreat talk, dyeing. Did I say dyeing? Spinning? Did I say spinning? Okay, well, let's just go because all of that is all around me. Alrighty, so the Marie Wallin Along is over. It was amazing, and I have my Yell to share with you today. That was my project for that knit along that I did with Sarah Pomegranate, Sarah Fibertrek, and Corrine the Woolly Thistle. It was amazing. And yeah, so I have several prizes to talk about. The first is a nice round $40 donation that I will be making to Rachel Cargill's Black Girl Therapy Fund. I spoke about that in the last podcast, and I will I'll post proof of donation in the group on Ravelry. And you can find all my Ravelry information in the beginning, I hope. I'm trying something very different today. Just a quick aside, I have a new phone with a very fancy camera, and I'm not sure I'm recording on that as well as my computer at the same time. So it's very trippy around here because I have two cameras set up. And I'm not sure I can make the editing work on my phone. We'll see. But the camera's much better. So yeah, hopefully I have edited this if I use my phone, and you can find the Ravelry group information, Fibertown with an RE. Anyway, you can see that information posted there about the donation. Let's see what else. Okay, yes, we have a Woolly Thistle gift card donation. $25. I pulled that from the Ravelry group thread on the Marie Wallin Cal, and that one goes to Sophia Amaral M. She's in Portugal. This was a random draw. And so, Sophia, I hope that's going to work for you. Maybe it'll just get you started on a Woolly Thistle order. So we'll get in touch with me on Ravelry and we'll sort it out there. Corrine's having a sale in just maybe 10 days, the weekend of the US Thanksgiving. So maybe you could hit that. All right, so the other thing is, oh yes, I am putting together a fibery package with all sorts of good things. And that went to a random draw from the Instagram thread, and that goes to ND Sharp. I think that's right, ND Sharp. I think she's in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. So get in touch with me on Instagram and I will hook you up. I will send you a nice package. So that was so much fun. Why don't I show you my Yell? It's over here. This, oh my goodness. This is my Yell. That was the inside. I should put it on. It goes well over this shirt that I will talk about later in the sewing segment. So here we are. The way I approached the bands, I decided not to do the colorwork bands, and I'm happy with that decision. I feel like no matter what I was going to do, based on what friends said about this cardigan, the bands would roll in, and they do roll in for me. So here's what I did. I thought about doing a steak sandwich, but I was really done with this sweater. So I did a hybrid. I'm calling it, I don't know if anyone else, I'm sure other people have done this. I feel like I invented it in my own little world, but I'm sure it's out there. And I don't know what it's called, but what I did was an I-cord bind off where instead of describing it, like naming this, I'm going to describe it. In an I-cord bind off, you cast on 3 extra stitches, right? You knit the first 2, and then you knit the third stitch that you cast on, brand new stitch, you can knit it through the back. I think I knit it through the back loop. You knit it together with the next stitch on the needle, like the old stitch, right? And then you put all those stitches back on the left-hand needle, and you cast on again, and you do it again. So that's what I did with one tiny modification. When you knit the 2 stitches together, I actually knit 3 together, but the third stitch, I just kind of dipped my needle down and I picked up a stitch from the inside of the work. So like the back of a pearl bump, the back of a stitch. I picked up the back of a stitch, and it mostly covered the steek where I cut. So it's a hybrid I-cord / pseudo steek sandwich. Can somebody name that for me, please? Because I'm not doing a great job. Or if you know what that's called, do let me know. All right, so the L. What a project. Another modification I made was on the cuffs. I did a folded hem. So I knit, then I did a purl round. Can you see that? And I'm showing, I hope you can see it on both cameras. I did a purl round, and that's just sort of like my turning round. It gives a nice definition. And then I knit several more rows of stockinette, and then I folded it to the inside and kind of whip stitched it down. Now you might notice they look a little different. Yes, they do. And that's me on my birthday weekend, which was Rhinebeck weekend. I'm a Rhinebeck baby, everybody. I think I'm older than the festival. I'm pretty sure I am. Anyway, yeah, in my haste, I left off several rows. So I'm going to have to unpick this sweater or this cuff because this one is perfection. It's so cozy right over my hand. And this one, it's just not as good. I really love this color work. I really love the Jamieson's of Shetland colors. And I have, I think, quite a bit of leftovers. And some of these colors also go in the Bressa cardigan from the Marie Wallin Shetland book. I think that's going to be my next Marie Wallin. And it dawned on me that I have 3 Marie Wallin sweaters. I have the Samfrey, I have the Lovage, and I have the Yell. It's a wonderful, cozy sweater. I love it. I just wear it like this. Here's the view. Extra cozy, extra wonderful. Love it. So that's my Yell. I don't think there's anything else to say. Yeah, let's talk about, that's all I've got for FOs. But I do have a couple works in progress. Not strange. Oh, wait, I forgot I had 2 other hat FOs. I made 2 more Toph hats, TOPH by Woolly Wormhead. I will insert pictures, I hope. One of them was for Sarah Pomegranate. We had a retreat, so I made some hats. Sarah Pomegranate's hat had this main color, Nightshades by Harrisville. Nightshades in the, is it the dashboard? Dashboard colorway. So it's hints of purple. And I used some hand spun leftovers from Pigeon Roof Studio for the leaf bits. Gorgeous. I didn't get to wet block that. Sarah, I hope you wet block it. Should improve. The other one I knit for Sarah Fibertrack, and I used one hand spun. She sent this to me. It's a lamb. It was a lamb, Gotland lamb. It was a bat, and it was amazing to spin. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I have a tiny bit left over somewhere. So I used that color for the mane, and then I used some US wool for the leaves. This is the, which one is this? The Icelandic and Cheviot. I do not know how to say that. Trusek? I'm just making that up. I feel like that might be pronounced like a cha, but I really don't know. Gorgeous yarn, right up her alley. And I dyed this one. It was a creamy color, and like a yellow cream. I dyed it with fresh indigo, so it's a very subtle color difference. Not a lot of contrast. There's definitely a color difference, but not a lot of contrast, and I think it came out stunning. I think they both came out stunning. Of course, I use DK yarns, and this pattern calls for fingering weight, but it's knit from side to side, like this, and then grafted up the seam, up from the brim to the top. So what happens, I think you can stop knitting with fewer repeats and you have enough to go around your head, but the hat gets taller because the yarn is bigger. So they're definitely kind of a slouch. They're so much fun to knit. You have to really concentrate, but it's very, very interesting knitting. So yeah, so they have to be kind of slouched back, but I think it suits most people. If you don't sort of style them, they kind of stick up, which is also a look. So those were great. I'm gonna knit one more soon. I'm not sure which yarns I will use, but hopefully you've seen them in here because they came out gorgeous. Okay, so works in progress. I have some West Yorkshire Spinners Blue Tit socks in the car. They're on the heel flap. First sock. Nothing to see here. Didn't want to get them from the car. I think I've lost a double point down somewhere in the depths of my car innards. You know how that goes? So yeah, I should probably switch them to a 9-inch circular. It's just not very much fun. The other work in progress is in my basket. It's the Shifty by Andrea Mowry. And yeah, it's crazy fun. Crazy fun. I am using some Cormo wool that I dyed the roving. It's from Rocklands Farm. Reflections at Rocklands is, I think, what they call the fiber business. And so, yeah, so I dyed it first. I dyed it in the roving. Sorry, I'm getting all these balls out here. I dyed it in the roving at Knit Camp last February, and then I spun it 2-ply this summer. Okay, so what should I show you? I'm going to show you the thing first. Here it is. Haha, yeah. I don't know. Oh, great. Oh, okay, I thought some stitches had come off, but no, I have it on 2 needles because I just tried it on. It's a few inches under my bust at this point. It's supposed to be cropped, but I'll probably go longer than it calls for. So yeah, it's 2-ply Cormo. It's holding up very well. You know, I've been not very delicate with it, and it's not pilling. I think it's a great hand spun. The texture's so squishy. So it's a mosaic knit, so slip stitches. Alternating colors. So this is the background color, and this really goes from chestnuts to sages to barber poling of the 2 colors. So from dark to quite light. There's some tans in there as well. So it's just changed color throughout. The first color I used was first contrast was this. I wasn't sure I would keep going. Like, I regret that this is not more of a foresty green, but it's okay. I wasn't gonna micromanage it, and I've come to enjoy it quite a bit. And there are also bits of purple barber poled occasionally in that one. So just so much fun to see the colors change. And then the second contrast is this gorgeous blue and with hints of green in places. And really, really beautiful. On the back, I got like a combination of dark and this, where the blue got kind of tealy. And I did the short rows in a contrast color up here, you can see. I don't think the pattern calls for that. I may have misread the pattern, but it's very helpful because now I know which is the backside when I put this on. Very easy to tell. And I don't have to sew any tags or whatever, little markers to help me remember. So I am almost ready to put in the third contrast, which is this. It's a purple with some very hints of gray blue. It's so much fun. This is the first, why am I not talking correctly? This is the first Andrea Mowry sweater pattern I've knit. I have knit one of her hat patterns before. Anyway, it's very forgiving of mistakes. I have made many mistakes, and I just keep trucking. And yeah, some of this gets a little bit off kilter, but come on, we're not going to worry about that. When I mean get off kilter, like maybe I should have slipped 1 stitch, but I slipped 2, and that means that I have to sort of the stitches fall differently in the stitch pattern. So what happens is that you might get, instead of a nice flat fabric like here, or is it a nice flat fabric? Like up here, it's kind of flat. And then down here, look, it kind of lines up. Yeah. It's okay. I'm letting it flow as it wants. So that's the Shifty out of Cormo, hand spun, hand dyed. Good times. I recommend. So that's what I'm working on right now. I have a million other projects floating around in my brainosphere. It's busy in my brainosphere. So I'm going to move on to spinning and just, I got kind of stalled on my Coopworth spin because I did a swatch of just a little bit I had chain plied. And then I swatched it up to see how it behaved, and I did not like it at all. It's very ropey. I washed it several times. I wore it like in my bra just to see if it would fill out. It's just too ropey to fill in the holes. Like, I don't like this fabric at all. That said, it is a chain ply, so I'm going to try a traditional 3-ply to see if it behaves any better. But then I did do a little bit of it 2-plied, and that fabric came out much better. I mean, maybe it doesn't look better to you, but it feels remarkably better. And this hasn't even been washed. And lighter sweaters in general are better for my climate. So I am going to try a traditional 3-ply and see how I like it. I also spun a tiny bit of my latest Hog Island. It's a very different color from my previous one. I think most Hog Islands are this color, at least that was my memory from seeing these sheep at Mount Vernon several years ago. And most of the fleeces they had were a creamy white. So this is a 2-ply. Oh my gosh, it's tiny, tiny stitches. I knit this I had sock needles handy, so that's what I used. So I haven't really started prepping that fleece, but I have a new fleece. Yes, I do. Let me show you. A while back, Carrie from Serenity Farms. Hi, Carrie. You're the best. She asked me a really thought-provoking question, and I gave her a long answer. Her question was, what's your ideal fleece? Or what kind of fleece are you looking for? And I talked about a lot of different kinds of fleeces, but I said, I'm on the hunt for a true dark charcoal fleece, a medium staple length, no brown tips, that kind of, I could cut them off, but I really don't like to do that. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. And Carrie found one. I don't think she's been able to acquire this sheep. It's a ram. What is his name? Did she say? Prince, a registered Romney ram in Michigan. Pretty fragrant. That's okay. He smells delightful. In fact, I've had worse. Never mind. Okay, so Prince, he's beautiful. Take a gander. Look at that. I got 3 pounds of this. It was a steal. Carrie has the rest. Yeah. Look how beautiful. He's just gorgeous. I don't know if he was coated. I should have asked. But I think, I'm wondering if that's why the tips are in such good shape. Isn't he beautiful? There's dust falling all over my computer. I don't care. So that's about a 4-inch, maybe 5 in some places, staple length. Basically 4, I think. That's gonna be so much fun. Oh yeah. So that's what I've got going on for spinning and fleecy goodness. And so dyeing. I think I mentioned last time I was planning to start an oak bath. And I didn't have a lot of acorns, so I decided to just make it a general oak components dye bath. So I used leaves, sticks, bark, and acorns. And it did almost nothing to my wool. I put did not mordant it because tannins in oak. But I let this bath sit for like a week. I added boiling water occasionally. I crunched up the acorns, and maybe it just wasn't enough oak stuff. And it looked like the dye bath looked good. It looked dark and colorful, but it really didn't do much to my yarn. It was kind of a brown, which is actually what I was going for. So I monkeyed around with the dye bath, and I used Clun Forest hand spun. So let me see. This was a bright white, and I have the rest of it here, a bright white before it hit the dye bath. So I did a few things. I had a sack of Purple Heart wood shavings from the Spanish Peacock. They used to collect shavings from their spindle making. Let me see if I can do this because my head's cut off. Sorry, guys. So I threw that in there as well because I'm like, okay, brown and purple, they really play well together in the dye pots. They complement each other. What ended up happening is a couple of, I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of purple in some of these. It's pretty subtle, but I also put in some iron water that I had made just with some ferrous sulfate tablets that I had crushed up and put in water. I think vinegar too. Don't remember. And that just darkened everything immediately. That was really fun. Chemistry when it's combined with wool, very entertaining. So, it's all right. Not the biggest success. Can you see the purple more now? But I do think this will all go very nicely with the botanically dyed Clun Forest. I'm going to put the botanically dyed in a yoke, and this will be the body of some sweater, probably a Jen Stein guess. Yeah. So I'm happy. I like a gray wool. Indeed I do. Dropping stuff everywhere. Yeah, so the garden is kaput for now. But I have collected so many marigolds. So I also dried some clematis flowers this fall, and I'll try those on some silk at Knit Camp, see what they do when they're dried. Yeah. In the meantime, this winter, I will try to spin some white fleece and go into next summer with tons of dyeable wool, dyeable hand spun. So the last two categories are quite hefty, I think. The first is sewing. Oh, I forgot an FO, sorry. This is my husband's FO. He finally finished the sweater he has been knitting. I think it's been on the needles a year about. This is sort of a flax pattern. It doesn't have short row shaping in the back of the neck. He's super proud of this. He gave it to our daughter who turned 17 last weekend. Needs a wet block for sure, but it's Cascade Eco wool. Thank you, Heather, for that extra skein. It came in very handy. I don't have any more Cascade in my stash, so that's the last of it. And that'll be it. Let's see if she actually wears it, because it fits me too. I could wear it. I did, sewing wise, back to sewing. I made her 2 pairs of PJ pants. And Flunez, thank you for this serger, because oh my goodness, 2 pairs in no time. So I batch sewed these, I guess that's what you call it. It's the first time I've done that. And really, I just used a tutorial for how to make your own PJ pants out of some you already own. Not out of them, but using the ones you already own as a pattern. Just Google it. So many tutorials out there, very easy. You lay them down with the crotch point out, you cut around, leaving a seam allowance. You leave like 3 inches at the top, 1 inch at the bottom, or whatever you want for your hem. And I sewed these completely on the serger. It took me about an hour and a half to make 2 pairs from cutting the fabric to inserting the elastic for the waistband. So I used some cotton flannel from Joann's. That's the first one. And I love this one. This one's awesome. Yeah, not bad. Just pattern matching for, I get better, you guys. I think some of the first garments I made were these, and I made them for my family out of the really terrible polyester fleece that Joann's has. So many patterns of that fleece, and some fun things, but it's really terrible stuff. So this is 100% cotton. Things I did, as I said, I just serged the entire thing. I did a little zigzag to sew down the waistband. I was going to do sort of, you know how sometimes an elastic waistband, it'll be sewn into the elastic. I'm not sure how to do that successfully. I tried and it wasn't working. So I just tacked it at a couple key spots so it doesn't twist. Love them. She loves them. And, the other thing I sewed was this Mandy Bow tee. Oh my gosh. On my birthday, I went to two of my favorite places. Well, 3 if you include Fiberspace, which I don't go to often. But they do have a yarn I adore, so I did hit there as well. So Old Town Alexandria. I had a cheese plate for lunch and a glass of wine. It was amazing at La Fromagerie. It's such a good place. They have the most amazing, simple, locally sourced food. The cheeses, oh my goodness. And then Stitch Sew Shop. And I had sort of a dream hour there where I came away with 3 amazing fabrics, and some notions and 1 pattern. But this fabric, oh my goodness, this is a merino knit. It's the coziest thing ever. I made it into a Mandy Bow tee. You've seen it, I stood up. Modifications were that I lengthened the sleeves and I made them a bit wider too, because I felt like some of the Mandy Boats I had made in the past, the sleeves were very tight. And I lengthened it by maybe 3 inches. And 3 inches doesn't seem like it would make it that much longer, but it's significantly longer. I think it's a bit too long. I probably won't change it. It's the coziest. I want a nightgown out of this, but it's expensive. Speaking of expensive fabrics, I'm looking at Pam over here. Let me just bring her into the frame. Oh, Pam. It's not Pam's fault. I don't know why I'm talking about her like this. She is holding, sorry, I'm moving a fleece out of the way. Pam would like to show you the Kelly Anorak. This is so well thought out. Okay. This is upside down. This is the hood. I did an amazing job on the hood. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so the expensive fabric is this. This is a Merchant & Mills Blackwatch dry oilskin. Blackwatch tartan. That's the name of the pattern. And then this stuff is amazingly hard to sew, especially when you are putting in, especially when you were setting in sleeves. Alice just joined us. You really can't see this whole thing. Come on, Pam. She needs to be taller. So the Kelly Anorak is by Closet Case Patterns, and I didn't make a muslin. And I am a fool. Yeah. It's too small. I think it might be a combination of several factors. I cut a size 12, at least I thought I did. Should fit me. But I should have remembered how far this comes down, and I should have graded to a 14 in the hips and the thighs and the butt, because I'm a 14 there. I'm a 10 on top usually, and I thought, okay, a 12 reliably in Closet Case, that should work for me. And I thought, I was allowing for the zero ease, the zero give factor of this fabric. But it's too tight across the shoulders and in the armpits. And when you sew into this, it leaves holes that do not blur away. They're in there. The sleeves did not go in super successfully in the back. Nothing I can do about it now. If I take that out, gonna be holes. It won't be waterproof, which I can live with, but there will be holes. It's gonna look terrible. Yeah, I'm a dum-dum, basically. A dum-dum who did amazing pockets though. These have like an accordion thing right here. Look at that, where they can expand a bit. They're nice and deep. Put those snaps on like a boss. Zipper went in. Another modification is that no waist drawstring, which this pattern typically has, because this fabric it's waterproof and it's stiff. It warms up when you wear it, and I think it moves better with you. So I've got the lining started. It's attached, and it's a cotton sateen. Sarah Pomegranate made me this. This also lives on Pam. And as I said, the hood is done. Just needs to be attached. I love the hood. I love that it's just this kind of somber, pseudo-gothy. It's not gothy, but come on, it's dark. And then bam, you're like, oh, it's a rainy day. And then, but wow, cheery colors. So I don't know. I considered putting like a godet on the side seams and just living with the fact that I would have holes. I'm not dealing with those sleeves again. They're straight enough in the front that I can try to forget what they look like in the back. But I would have to put a godet in the lining as well. Sorry, the dog is wanting out and I do not want to get up. So I don't know. It's too big on my daughter. I was thinking maybe my mother would want it. It might fit her. She's petite. I don't know. It might be, I don't know. Why didn't I muslin? Overconfidence. Oh well, it suits me in other parts of my life, just not this particular make. Any ideas? Sometimes you guys give me the most amazing problem-solving solutions. Is that redundant? Problem-solving solutions? Probably. All right, I think I'm gonna have to let her out. But you know what? I can't stop the cameras because I have two going at once. So just hang on. All right, sing a song to yourself. Think about what you're knitting. Think about what you're going to knit. Okay, Alice clearly thinks there are animals in the backyard. I think she just went out to check. Her hackles are up. All right, Pam, it's been real. I don't want to think about that. It's bumming me out. So I do have plans though. Sewing plans to help me forget what's going on over there, at least for the moment. I want to make some more ginger jeans. And at our yearly Veterans Day weekend retreat with some friends, we sewed ginger jeans. It was super fun. I didn't sew them. I helped them sew them. And I was in love with the 11-ounce S jean denim that's supposed to be black. It's really like a dark indigo, but I love the weight of this S jean. And S jean denim it has some spandex in it, a small percentage, but it's a technology, I think, of weaving the denim, and it feels like real denim, like bona fide denim, not just a twill, and not like jeggings. But the technology makes a stretch denim where it doesn't bag out, like the knees don't bag out. And I have a pair of gingers, my first one, out of S jean denim, and just they get constant use, and they look okay, like for a year, constant use. So I'm excited. I just got that from Threadbare Fabrics, and I think I'm gonna put this fancy zipper in it because that's fun. I did my first jeans button, just hammering it in. So I'm gonna maybe go and do some rivets on this next pair I make. but the retreat sewing was a lot of fun. And it's just the most fun pattern to the fly construction. I've talked about it before. Can't wait for that. Oh, I forgot to show one tool that I used on the oil skin because you cannot press it. So I got this. This is a roll and press from Clover, and you just press the seams with this. No heat, just some pressure, and it really does make the seams look pretty good. Yeah, I think you can use it on paper as well. Little tool, I love tools. All right, so other sewing plans, Cali shirts, more Cali shirts. I have some great fabric for that. I also have some navy blue silk and oil. That was from my Stitch expedition. Oh, I forgot to show you what I got at Finch. Don't think I've washed, no, I have not washed this yet. This is such a delight to wear and to sew. Silk, but easy to sew. That was another splurge from Stitch Sew Shop. And then on our retreat, we went to Leesburg to Finch Knitting and Sewing Studio. Oh my gosh, this is terrible, but I'm gonna get up again. What do you want to think about now? Do you want to sing yourself another song? Do you want to think about what you're gonna knit soon? Do that, I'll be right back. Okay, so at Finch, this is what I bought. I bought half a yard of this Italian boiled wool. Isn't it fun? And I think I'm going to put some fringe on it. It's just gonna be a scarf. It looks good on both sides. And it's just delightful. So I might wear it like this. Yep, I wanna fringe it. Sarah Fibertrek is she's an amazing embroiderer, hand worker. She's doing all sorts of fun stuff on the wool. So yeah, just maybe I'll take some nice brown wool or gray, probably brown, and poke it through here, do a little fringe, maybe twist it, braid it. Oh, maybe I'll do it. Yes. Oh my goodness. Other things that I've acquired. My library had its biannual book sale, and people just donate books, and you can get some great stuff for $1, $2, 25 cents for some of the kids' books. I came away with a couple of treasures. I think I paid $2 for this. This is a Japanese pattern book, Stylish Party Dresses by Yoshiko Sukiori. Patterns are in here. There are some great just blocks that you can hack. The styling is pretty amazing. Love them. I haven't really looked at the sizing. I hope I can fit into maybe the higher range of it. I don't know. But in any case, it's a good start. I also found a couple Rowan magazines, and I came away with this one. There must have been a few things in here that I liked. I paid $1. And then this one, it's not always this good, but I got some good things. Oh, yes, I did. This is the Gansey Fisherman Sweaters by Alice Darmore. Every single sweater in here is really good. And now I need some of that frangipani from the Woolly Thistle eventually. I think I'd need 2 combs. Yeah, just good Ganseys, kids, adult. Yeah, they're really excellent. So, score on that. And then I bought some wool from Sarah Fibertrek. This is wool from first, oh, did I not? Damn it. Okay, this is wool. Wool Wife Yarns, that's her brand. Furstness, I'm thinking you pronounce that. This is from the Orkney Archipelago, from Eday. I think Eday, E-D-A-Y. I don't know how you say that, and I should have asked. It's a small batch yarn produced from fleeces harvested off a small island in Orkney, Scotland. All fleeces were hand-skirted and selected for their luster and length. The yarn was spun in northern Maine at a rustic fiber mill. It's a great spinning job. I love this wool. Yeah. Look at that. You can't really see the luster on camera. I opted for the undyed in case I want to dye it myself. And I have a lot. I think, I'm not sure, but I suspect it reminds me a little bit of the style of Marie Wallin British Breeds. I have one ball of that. I think the ply is a little tighter on this than it is on the British Breeds, but it's not a tight ply. It's stunning. I love it. I loved this stuff from the moment I saw like the lock that she had acquired. And it's a really meaningful yarn for her, and I just am in love with it. So I think it might be well suited to some of the designs in here. Wildwood from Marie Wallin. In particular, something like this. I think I have enough for that. So yes, I'm eyeing some of the designs in this book. Is there another one? A lot of these are color work, but not all of them. But most of them really are. Yeah. So I'm thinking about doing that. I don't know if I'll dye it. Probably. I don't know how. We'll see. It's a mystery. And then on my birthday, I did get another bit of another favorite yarn, another sweater quantity, possibly another Jen Steingass. I really love De Rerum Natura, This Thing of Nature. Is that the translation? I think it's something like that. I could be slightly off. I definitely am slightly off. This is Ulysse, the sport weight. I don't know if this is going to be backwards on one of these cameras or both of them. But this is the sport weight. This gorgeous color. I don't think the cameras are really doing it justice. It is a dark, plummy, winey burgundy. I don't have a sweater in that color. I want one. What is this color? Merlot. It's Merlot. I think it's one of the newer colors. And then what is this one? Fusain? Is this Fusain? Sorry, I don't know my colors. Yeah, Fusain, Fusain. And then this one is the contrast. And, these kind of look terrible together, but I feel like the three with this Merlot is the main color. They kind of look great. And this one is Quartz. It's so hard to pick colors. There's so many amazing combinations. I love the fabric. I love knitting with it, but the fabric is just so well suited to everyday wear around here. And I love a sweater that I can wear as much as possible. There they are. That's a better representation. So that's most of what I acquired. Maybe a few other bits. But I think I've shared what there was to share. So we had a wonderful time at the retreat, and we took a group shot of our luggage, and I bought this necklace as well. It's copper, it has a mountain on it. Made by a local artist. And we had great food. We had a lovely old farmhouse Airbnb with a pond and a heron and a groundhog and deer and so many hawks. A few geese too. There are always geese if there's a little pond. It was delightful. And we rambled up and down sort of the Virginia scenic byways. Checked out the little towns. It's horse country, it's wine country. And it was amazing. So now I've got to clean up. Now I've got to think about what to do with that. Do you have any ideas? Let me know. All right. It's time to shut this down. Alice is outside still hunting. I don't know what she's hunting. I got to sort her out. So until next time, everyone take care.